Good afternoon, viewers. This is breaking news. My name is Marko Abraham, a disability activist in Zimbabwe. My other trade name is Irie Vibes when doing other businesses. I've come today to talk about disability issues and the challenges that are faced by people with disabilities in Zimbabwe. The first one is access to safe and clean water by people living with disabilities. Boreholes and water points are found from a distant place, which makes people living with disabilities have challenges accessing that water. Second point, people living with disabilities face numerous challenges in accessing health facilities and the equipment which they use. Most of them fail to access walking crutches, wheelchairs, walking canes, and hearing aids. People living with disabilities have challenges in accessing employment, even though they are highly educated. So this is why people living with disabilities are regarded as workplace liabilities. So that's one of the other challenges. And then people living with disabilities, when we are looking at children, they fail to go to school because of their immobility status or their sight status, and so forth. People living with disabilities also face immobility challenges. When we are saying immobility challenges, moving from one point to the next point, public transport they use is not conducive for people on wheelchairs or people on stretchers and so forth. So it presents a very big challenge. 1% of people living with disabilities own vehicles, yet 99% do not own. Yet mobility is a necessity. It's not a want, but it's a necessity. People living with disabilities do not have shelter. They do not have homes, houses. It therefore means at local authority level, they are left out. This is why most of them are kept by friends and relatives from birth up to death. People living with disabilities do not have access to income generating projects. They do not have jobs. They do not have income generating projects. And when they come to the cities and CBDs trying to fend for themselves as petty vendors, they are victimized and their ways are confiscated by municipal police, which presents another huge challenge. As a disability activist in Zimbabwe, we have taken it upon ourselves to help fellow people living with disabilities. First, we want to source computers which will be distributed to all children from kindergarten to university level with computers and laptops, so that we bridge their disability status by bringing vast computer knowledge on their doorsteps, in their homes, on their fingertips. And then, secondly, we intend again to source mobility for the disabled by them having vehicles which they will use for mobility, and also for doing their self-sustaining businesses, whereby they will use the boot of their vehicles to sell their wares during the day, and also being able to move from point A to B. We also intend to find income-generating projects for our members, whereby we can hire out industrial equipment, things like cranes, tippers, and so forth and so forth. We hire out the equipment, and the proceeds that come from there will then be channeled towards assisting people with disabilities in a living. We are appealing to anyone who is willing to work with us on this journey to come forward. The world should be shaken and moved to offer a helping hand to people with disabilities. Our disability community have been baptized with hellfire for a long, long time. All those willing to help us on this worthy, life-saving train of people living with disabilities, kindly contact us on 0772 221 515 or 719 221 515. Our email address is Irie Vibes village@gmail.com. Our Steward Bank account and Nostro accounts are appearing on the screen. Thank you very much, the people of the world. I thank you.